Hey, Michael here. Out here in the woods, just stopped. I was out taking a walk and getting a little exercise this morning, November 12th, 2016, out in Cypress, Texas. Nice day, it's in the 60s, blue sky, you can see. I'm out amongst the pine trees, sitting on one now. We got a nice pond back there. Parsley hawthorn over here without some leaves. Pine tree, oak. Nice area. Now I might be moving and jiggling around a little bit because I'm sitting on a pine tree. So hard to keep perfect balance. The essence of science is induction and integration. Science is about identifying on a conceptual level things that causal relationships that we identify in some form or other, in some respect, perceptually. You know, there's the misconception that science is the hypothetico-deductive method. You just make things up and deduce consequences. While that is a part of science and it helps us do things, that is not the essence of science. We don't just arbitrarily make things up and then try to see if it's right. Karl Popper was totally wrong. Science is not about trying to have some abstract concept in our heads divorced from the world. It's about identifying things in the world. Popper was more in line with Kant and Plato, detaching concepts from the real world. And then you're left with the problem of trying to figure out, well, how do they actually apply? I think we know concepts and science does apply, so we should just grasp that fact, you know, think about it, and you'll find out that when you really dig and root around, that we're showing that science is inductive fundamentally. But if you think about what science is really about and what it does for us, it's about identifying conceptually cause-effect relationships. It's grasping those things conceptually. There's a lot of things we know perceptually. We can figure things out. You know, animals kind of implicitly know something like that. That's what they act on. A lot of things we do, we act on cause-effect relationships. But, of course, in figuring out what the cause is, we make mistakes conceptually. That's where science comes in. It tells us what exactly the cause of something is. Now, science is not merely, you know, finding causes. It's an integrated body of knowledge about causes for a certain subject, such as the science of math, the science of physics, the science of mechanics, the science of chemistry, the science of psychology, philosophy, biology. Each of those is its own separate area, although they are all interrelated and interconnected ultimately. We can't really do biology fully without knowing some chemistry and physics, for example. To know chemistry, we had to do some physics. Physicists learn some things from chemists. If we look at actual examples of science, we'd find out that it's a rational, logical process. Yes, we get ideas or suggestions from other areas, of course. Obviously, as rational animals, we have free will. We can make things up, we can get things wrong. Yeah, we have psychology, we have imagination, we have feelings and all that. Only some Platonists and some people like that would believe that those things are irrelevant. But they've got to play into the rational, logical process, which is ultimately fundamental. That's what science is. We can get ideas from other things, yeah, but they don't make up the essence of science. We've got to integrate. We've got to make sure what we think is true when connected to everything else we know. There shouldn't be any contradictions. And if you look at the great scientists, that's what they did. Faraday, Isaac Newton, William Harvey, John Locke, Aristotle, Darwin, and many others. They were fundamentally inductive and integrative thinkers. That's why they were successful. Unfortunately, that lesson has been lost on us. Those figures and others help develop the experimental method, which helps us induce. It helps us compare and contrast, so we're sure that we're right about what a cause is and not mistaken. You know, that's where you're getting into the hypothetical deductive method a little bit and other things, but fundamentally that's just a matter of contrast. That's just part of what science really is. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a good day, a rational day, benevolent. If you have any comments, questions, or want some follow-up on this video, let me know in the comments below.